teaching you how to stretch a canvas today, and first of all you will be needing a wooden stretcher, which you can find at any arts and crafts store or art supply store, and I'll put a link down at the bottom to lead you to wherever you need to find your supplies. And then the second thing is you will need some fabric of any sort, and lastly you will be needing either a hammer, that's optional for hammering down staples. You will be needing, of course, staples and a staple gun to staple down your fabric. And if you kind of mess up a staple, you might want to get like a staple puller. Any staple puller will do. And let's get to it. I forgot one more thing. You're going to need a little bit of space to work on this because you're going to be moving the canvas around, the stretcher around, and it's a lot easier if you have a little bit of space or a big table to work on. Make sure you're not going to ruin the table by maybe putting some fabric on there, and plus you would be preventing any damage to your canvas as well. Okay, now the first thing you want to do is get your stretcher, place it face down on the fabric. This is going to be the inside of your canvas. And don't worry if your fabric has wrinkles, because it's all going to go away when you prime it. And when you place it on the fabric, you want to make sure that there are at least 6 inches on each side. So if you're kind of self-conscious about that, or you want to make sure that you have at least 6 inches, you can always get a ruler and measure it out. And make sure you measure on each edge, because sometimes the fabric can be kind of wonky and be like 8 inches on this corner and 2 inches on that corner, I don't know. Great. Next you want to get your staple gun and fill it up with staples, and get, if it'll lock, get the middle of one of the sides and just slightly, well, make it tight, but don't make it so tight that it starts pulling on the other side, and just staple. And then take the other side and pull until it's a little tight in the middle, and then staple the opposite side. Now take one of the edges on the width side and do the exact same thing that you did with the first one. Don't pull too tight, or else you will get a warp in your canvas. And then staple. And then do the exact opposite and pull a little harder. Don't pull too tight again. Okay. Now your canvas should look like it has a cross in it, and it's just like really loose on the corners. That's what we want. We don't want it too tight. And then we're going to start doing 3 staples on each side. So you kind of pull towards the corners, but don't pull too tight, of course. Now don't staple in the corner yet. I will do more instructions after we do everything else. So you just turn it to the opposite side, or whichever side you feel like it, as long as you just do one side first on the edges. Now if your side is too short to have 3, just do 2 or 1. Like on this one I can only do 1. And then once you're done with all the edges, you just go in on the opposite side from the middle. Alright, we are all done with stapling the side of the edges. Now for the corners, you want to figure out which side you want to staple all the way down to near the edge. And for the sake of this video, I'm gonna use my width side to staple all the way down. And make sure you don't accidentally staple the opposite side down, because then it'll look really unprofessional. And it just doesn't look very good. Alright. And make sure you don't accidentally staple the underneath fabric. And be careful of like little wood joiners as well. Alright, take the side that you stapled near the corner and pull a little bit, and then start taking a little piece of the fabric and fold inward, and make sure you have enough so you can fold down. And when you fold down, you want to make it to where the fold ends up, sorry, here, let me get in frame. You want to make sure that the fold ends up right on the corner. And it's a little tricky, but with enough practice, you can do it. You might need to move around the fabric a little. It's kind of hard doing this for the camera. Okay, and then once you get that all done, you just staple that in spot, or in the spot where all the fabric's bunched up. So let me hold on to that and get the staple gun. Make sure the fabric is all tight. And what I like to do is kind of staple near the edge so the fold doesn't move. You want to flip this over and do the other side. Now make sure that you are using the fabric, or folding down the fabric that you stapled near the edge, and make sure there isn't any fabric underneath it. And then, hope I'm in frame. Yeah, I'm in frame. Okay. And then just kind of fold down. And while you are doing this, you still want to kind of pull against the fabric. Oh gosh. And it gets a little tricky. Here we go. And then make sure that the fold is near the edge. And now you staple. And if you want it to look really pretty, you can still move the fabric around. So I like mine to look a little neat. It's not perfect, but It's always nice to put a little extra work into it. Alright. Okay, and now you do that to the rest of the sides, and then you're all done. Okay, when you're all done, it should look something like this. Not too tight. I mean, it's tight enough to where it won't fold or anything, but it's not tight enough to warp the stretcher later. And if you want to cut the extra fabric off, you can, to make it look nicer. And what you may notice when you staple, your staples don't go all the way in, so you can hammer them down. And just make sure they go all the way down, or they might end up looking like a bunch of M's. That's happened to me quite a few times. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe if you liked it, and there will be more in the future. All right, bye.